Have you ever noticed the more you try to control something, the worse it gets? You try to make someone fall in love with you, they immediately pull away. You try to make people respect you, they disrespect you even harder. You try to force an outcome, it immediately backfires. The harder you grip onto something, the more it slips like sand in your hands. And yet, you keep trying and trying, always trying. You know why? Because control gives you a false sense of safety. It makes you feel like you're doing something. Like if you just try hard enough, you can force the world to bend at your will. Newsflash, you are not God. The more you try to play God in people's lives, the more you become miserable. That is why today, I'm going to tell you something that will change your life if you let it. The let them theory. Yes. About the let them theory from Mel Robbins, and when I tell you this theory changed my whole perspective on how I view life, it really did. At its core, the let them theory is about detachment. It's a movement towards peace, a movement towards taking back your power. It is the most terrifying and liberating thing you will ever do. But before we go further, let's call control what it really is. Control is a trauma response. It is masculine energy in overdrive. It is an addiction to outcomes that aren't even in your hands. I have personally struggled with control all my life. I'm a firstborn daughter, and you know what that means? I was conditioned from a very young age to micromanage everything, micromanage everyone. Siblings, my family, my own success, my relationships. Every move I've had to make as a firstborn daughter had to be calculated, controlled, and certain. Terrified of what can happen if I let go. But that's the thing about control. It's an illusion. The more you try to control outcomes, things, and situations in life, the more you lose and become miserable. When I decided to finally let go, that is when life started becoming easier. Who are you when you stop controlling and manipulating situations, people, everything, and let them be? This is an identity shift. You stop being the chaser and start being the chooser. You stop being the fixer and start being the receiver. You stop being the controller and start being the creator. Imagine you standing in the middle of the ocean, lost. The waves are crashing, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to swim, you don't know how you're going to get out of there. So you have two choices. So you either choose to fight the wave, scream and panic, or float. The moment you surrender to the ocean and let it be, let it do its thing, stop fighting it and float, the ocean, the river holds you up. That is what happens when you let go. When you stop gripping onto things so tightly and let them unfold naturally, you rise and step into your own power. The goal is to stop focusing on people, situations, outcomes you can't control, and go inward. The feminine heals when she turns her focus inward and starts living for herself and God, taking care of herself, constantly going after her own goals and upgrading. Before we go into the various areas you can apply the let them theory, I want us to get to one thing straight. Let them theory doesn't mean being passive or reckless. It doesn't mean tolerating nonsense from people. It's about peace, not powerlessness. There are moments where you do not let them. You rise, you speak up, and act. And the first one is when someone is in danger. When someone is suicidal, for example, you absolutely not let them. You intervene and get help. When someone is about to drunk drive, you take the damn keys. At any point someone is about to make a reckless decision that is about to harm their own lives, you do not just sit there. You warn them. The second scenario where you absolutely not let them is when you're fighting for your own rights. Anything to do with abuse, discrimination, femicide, you call them out and push back. Let them theory is not an excuse to stay silent in the face of an injustice. The third scenario to absolutely never let them is when someone is consistently violating and disrespecting your boundaries. Letting people mistreat you is not letting them. That is called self-abandonment. If someone disrespects you, plays with your time, or crosses your line, you have the power to rise and correct them. And if they do not listen and continue doing it, you remove yourself from that situation and walk away. Because the real let them theory is not about letting them do whatever. It's about letting them be who they are, letting someone reveal their true intention, their character, so you decide whether you belong with them or not. That is setting boundaries. And now that that is done, here are a few of the areas in your life where you can apply the let them theory and take your power back. And the first one is in your own life. You need to learn how to detach from yourself. Listen, detaching from people is one thing, but detaching from yourself, that is next level, where the real magic happens. Because if you're constantly feeling stuck, overwhelmed, frustrated, guess what? It is not the world holding you back. It is you. And you need to learn how to detach from you, to detach from yourself. You're clutching onto things that need to go. The negative self-talk, the overthinking, the past, the self-limiting beliefs. You cannot become the next level of yourself while clinging to the old one. You need to learn how to detach and let things unfold. Let things that must fall apart, and the right things that need to fall into place for you to move into the next chapter of your life to fall into place. When you finally stop obsessing, overthinking, and controlling outcomes, that is when life moves for you. The second scenario where you can apply the let them theory is in your family. Listen, this is for every woman out there struggling with control or controlling outcomes. But for firstborn daughters, we are in a league of our own. We are very notorious for control. That is why I want to speak to firstborn daughters. And the funny thing is, it's not even our fault. We were just raised to be mini parents. We grew up micromanaging, fixing, rescuing. And now as adults, because it is deeply ingrained in us, we struggle with this the most. I know this because I have lived it. I have spent years and years trying to control my siblings' every move. My sister, a whole university student, grown, independent, stable, stressing over her like I am her legal guardian, wondering who she's hanging out with, where she's going, if she's drinking, if she's generally just making the right choices for her own life. Until one day, God literally humbled me. He let me know that I was acting like a God in their lives, that I did not trust Him to take care of them. And that hit deep for me. Because just imagine this. If God, the creator of the universe, saw how flawed our hearts were and still chose to give us free will, who am I to take that away from my siblings? See how I was acting like a God? Who am I to play the role of God in other people's lives? Because this is the truth. When I was focused on them, I abandoned myself. When I was busy controlling and fixing them, I wasn't fixing my own issues. When I was micromanaging their lives, mine was on hold. So I had to stop and just let them be. Let them live, let them make their own mistakes and learn from them. Let people be and focus on you. Because if I keep on fixing and rescuing them, they will never learn and grow. And you need to make that shift as well in your own life. The next area you can apply this theory is in your relationships. If they are unsure about you, let them. If someone doesn't choose, value, and respect you, you let them. No begging, no proving, no waiting around. Just go inward. Focus on your own well-being, your own goals, and growth. Stop trying to fix the situation. Stop trying to fix the relationship. Because here's the truth. It is the responsibility of the masculine to make sure the relationship moves forward. He literally just needs to look at you and ask himself, what do I need to do to make sure I have her in my life? If he doesn't choose you, just let him be. Do not prove, do not fight, do not force. Go inward and work on yourself. The right person will come. Someone who will rise up to the occasion and do what the masculine needs to do in order to have you in their own life. If he's being inconsistent and unwilling to commit, do not try to argue with them, not try to convince them. Don't try to shrink yourself to fit into their uncertainty. This is how you get yourself in situationships for years and wonder how you got in there. It's because you forced yourself. Just let them be who they are and then choose yourself instead. And this goes for friendships as well. If you've been friends with someone for a very long time and they start acting up, just let them sort their own emotions and decide whether they want to be in friendship with you. If they start acting distant or basically just moving on to other friendships, just let them be. We are human beings. We are meant to evolve. You do not need to force situations or things that aren't meant to be. in that season. Because the truth is, real friendships flow. You shouldn't have to beg for loyalty or friendship. Let them drift, and trust this, that the right people will stay. From now on, your role becomes an observer. Let people show you who they are, then decide whether you want them to be in your life based on what you see and not what you wish. Because when you become an observer first and decide whether someone can and be in your own life, you do the choosing. You are not waiting around to be chosen. And when it comes to your business, your career, your vision, and no one believes in your vision, you do not convince them. Let them be. Not everyone will support you, buy from you, and understand you. Let them. Some people won't engage with your content, and that's okay. Some will doubt your success. That is very much okay. Some will even mock your vision. If they aren't liking, sharing, and supporting what you do, do not shrink. If they say you'll never make it, let them talk. If they think your calling is unrealistic or your vision is unrealistic, you let them doubt. Meanwhile, you keep on building. Because at the right time, when God allows it, the right people will find you, the right audience will resonate with your message, and your success will speak for itself. The key to a more peaceful life and stepping into your own power is just letting them. Detach from what you can't control, protect your own peace and energy, shift your focus inward, on you, not them, and trust that the right things and people will align naturally. The feminine heals and flourishes when she stops forcing, chasing, and controlling things. When she lets them and focuses on her own growth. So my question to you today is, how are you going to apply the let them theory in your life going forward?